Good morning, everyone. The YPR is getting a little extended. Is there a gap here? Or was I missing data? YVR, if it gives a little bounce here, could be a short 480 level. No bounce. What's the 80 break? Somewhat an early cup and handle, but VWAPs is right underneath, so I didn't take that. My VR ended up inverted cup and handle for the 480 break. Reached the 5-minute target there. Wafu ended up felling there. OPTT. This can set up a little bit later.
Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Morning, Daniel. HPI got over the pre-market highs. The 40 was the break here. Let's see what happens if it gets rejected. So 40 was support here, broke. Had an inverted cup and head didn't take it. Few stuff moving out there, but not a whole lot of setups. Gnln. It's attempting a flag here. It's batty. Let's see if we can hold VWAP. IDRA. It's just 2 pennies. It's probably not worth it. Daily looks horrible. Yeah, but this could be like a short here. I guess you can risk 1 penny for the 132 break and target at 130, but it's very small range. Getting like 2 cents. And nearly toasty. CSIQ. It's pretty low volume now, based on its average. It's 300,000. Normally it trades at 3 million volume. Yeah, CSIQ, I think the level for this to be bullish would be 50, 51. I think I drew this line before on the $51 here. It is showing some bullish signs, so you kind of have like this. You might get rejected, and then maybe another lower high. So you are getting higher lows. So it might try to break 50. See how's it doing. I mean, potentially it could break. I think 50 would be the level you want to watch. Right now, if you play the, I guess, 50 break, 51, it's more like 51. Then your stop is at either this prior low or this prior low. It's 40, which is a wide stop. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but if you're gonna hold this for a swing trade, probably one more pullback. So one more high low, because right now if you buy up here, your stop is either this swing low or this swing low here. People probably use this swing low since that's more defined. And that's like around $41. So it's gonna be like a $9 risk. So you want this to kind of tighten up. So if you want to go swing trade, it's gonna be like a ascending triangle here. You probably won't have one more bounce here, and then it'll be like a $45 stop, and you could buy it at $50. So hopefully it pulls back one more time. I think if it does go, it's probably gonna fail because it's a little bit premature, and you're not gonna have the volume come in because the risk is so wide. Unless you get some other news fundamental plays, but in a technical perspective, it will need another tight higher low, and then people will like daily traders or swing traders will see that as a good risk. Like they can risk $5 per share here. And yeah, if there's like a $60 target, then that's, you know, you get $10 per share profit. It's just a risk management there. But right here, it's not that attractive if it breaks right now. I mean, it could go higher, but it's in terms of risk reward, it's not attractive. I think, yeah, one more pullback. Thanks for the follow. Nearly toasty. Yvr. So it's trying to break this trend line right here, right now. But yeah, it's a little bit extended on the 15-minute chart. They do have a support at 50 or 40. 41s. So there's the trend line break. Let's see if it could kind of push over VWAP. But if this gets rejected, comes back to 40 and already cup and handle, it might be a okay short back to the 430s. All right, let's see what else is moving. Haven't taken any trades yet today. Just gonna wait till one or two pattern sets up, and these are the two patterns I'm looking for here. Long setup flag pennant, confirming support at a prior resistance level, and then the short setup, which is the inverted cup and handle. So an extension, and then forming a cup, and then a handle to risk off. So those are the two setups I play. And I'm just gonna look for those. If there's no setup, then there's no play. Oh, so Yvr rejected here. So nice rejection. It was extend on the 15-minute chart, but the 15-minute is slowly catching up. But if we get a bounce here, probably we won't get a bounce, but that's good track. Yeah, the 15-minute chart is at 423. So it's not going to be the best risk reward, but if it does give like a tight lower high here, you might be worth a shot for like 420. And maybe it'll just crack through the 15-minute chart since it's so weak. So far this 441 is holding. But yeah, let's see if we give one small bounce. Okay, so yeah, it broke. No bounce. So yeah, so no trade there. Probably gonna wait till it's probably set up for a long trade later after it retests the 15-minute chart and maybe trend back higher lows. I'm just gonna put a alert when it crosses 460, or actually maybe 480. 480 is the where you see prior support broke and then it became resistance and it got rejected off there. So I'm gonna put 480 as an alert here. Once you get over that, you might can see a long play if it holds 480 as support later. But that's gonna be like when it's trading above between 480 and $5. It's gonna let's have another on that. GNLN have a bounce here. Doesn't seem like there's any setup there though. RKDA. The daily chart looks pretty bad. Probably fade back down to 270s. A little bit extended on the downside now, but it looks like it's might break. Hopefully it doesn't break, and you might get a kind of bear flag forming later, and then you can break. COF. I was kind of watching this, but I don't think it gave a signal. Maybe this is the only signal here for this. What's this 1973 break? Almost a head and shoulders or a cup and handle, however you want to look at it. Here, broke. Support became resistance. Trend back down. Kind of bouncing off VWAP level, and then kind of going back up. SSY. Surf has a little flag right below VWAP. Clro, interesting candle here. So this can get tricky. I don't want to. Sun W getting a little bit extended on the 5-minute chart. Probably the higher here, the better. And then we can look for a short back to the 5-minute chart. So if this kind of continue to trend, maybe we'll look for an inverted cup and handle up here. And the 5-minute chart will be extended. And we can probably short it back down. That's on W. Let's keep that on the side. It's gonna need a lot more work. EQ. Mvis looking a little weak here. Extend on the 15-minute chart, so we probably have to look for a 5-minute reversal. So right now it's starting to form its cup on the 5-minute chart. If it gives a lower high, maybe 5 more minutes. So this candle just printed. So that might be the lower high. But ideally, maybe just consolidate around this area for another 5-minute candle. I mean, if it breaks here, I don't know. It looks tempting. Looks tempting to take it. I think it just had a fail flag. So I might take this if, see, 1348, 1350s. If this give a little bounce, it is a little bit spready. You got like a 6-cent spread there. But profit taking is at 1325s. So it's a bit of profit at 25-cent profit. If it kind of gives a one more bounce, a 10-cent bounce, could be worth the risk. But I'll be careful since VWAP is just right underneath, so you might get a bounce there. 1340s. But let's see if I have shorts available. So I think, yeah, I do have it available. So probably gonna try this at 1350 break. Alright, so I took that 1348, 300 shares. Just a small trade. My stop's gonna be, so my tight stop would be 1357, which is this. It isn't like a defined lower high. If I want a wider stop, I could do a 1365 stop here. But looks like it's breaking. It might bounce off 1340s. But potential profit here is 1325. It's a 15-minute chart. But yeah, 1340 is where we had to watch. This is where VWAP is, this blue line. 1340s. See how it reacts. All right, so it's on 1340. Small bounce there, but it's down 1340s here. So we want to see 1340 get broken. All right, so came at 1318, so it broke VWAP. All right, so I think it'll probably get that 15-minute test. So I'm gonna. All right, so good push down there. So I filled 100 shares here at 1333. And some support at 1330 here. I'm probably gonna took another 100 shares here at 37s. I'll just try my last 100 shares. There's some support here. You can see it bounce off this 1330 level. So you might get a bounce, retest the 1350s, and then go lower. But let's see how it reacts here. But if it does break 1330s right now, my final target is 1320s on this 15-minute trend. All right, so it looked like it broke, so that's good for us. Yeah, I didn't go a whole lot of shares here. I'm just gonna take the rest out 1324s. So I'm out there, $52 win. A quick little trade. So as I was explaining, this was a 5-minute extension, or a 15-minute extension. You can see the 15-minute chart. When it was trading up here, the 9 EMA was down here. So naturally, all the chart time frame is going to naturally go back to the 9 EMA. So I look ahead in the 5-minute time frame for an inverted cup and handle. You can see that here. They took the break of that trend line or cup line and took profit at 13. My last profit was 1325, which was the 15-minute target. So you can see it tested the 15-minute trend there. So it might get a little bounce back to 1340s, 1350s, unless it's really weak and it's gonna crack through that. But I think it should bounce here. You look at the 15-minute chart, it is a bit extended. I think it'll give a little bounce and then create an inverted cup and handle on the 15-minute chart, which is going to be like in 45 minutes. And then that can break into the target of the hourly chart, which is extended here. You get another print. The hourly's down here, so I just look for extensions and trade back to the mean. But yeah, it looks very weak. I could try that a little bit more, but normally I would just take my profits there and wait for it to set up again, and then I'll re-enter for the next break. So you can see my trade pop up here. So quick $52 win. My first trade. Took that break. Tight stop would be 1554 on this prior high, or you can take a wider stop, which is not too bad. Also like a 10-cent spread, and pretty much it was a 25-cent move, 52 or 30-cent move here, 1350 to 1320s. But I would expect a bounce here. Hey Gabriel, GNLN, check it out. GNLN, yeah, so I was kind of watching this. It had like a little flag here that form. But it wasn't like the very best setup. Ideally, this gives another like higher low right here before it breaks, and that'll look a lot better if you get a higher low here. It looks like it just like went from 480s all the way to pretty much nonstop to like 475. But yeah, if you want to take that break, you probably have to risk wide. So it'll be like the 511 break, stop at 490s. So it's a 20-cent risk. It's not too bad. So that'll be like the entry there. 511 break, risking 490s, 20-cent risk, and it's gone 60 cents. So that's a 3-to-1. Right now it's getting extended. So if you have shares here, I would sell, most of them here. It's gonna probably retest the 5-minute chart at 530s. You can see it's forming a lot of wicks here, and that's probably due to the overhead daily resistance. You can see this daily resistance here around the $6, $556. So you're probably gonna have some overhead sellers on the daily chart that's gonna sell when they have the opportunity to break even. But you could sell some of your shares there, and then maybe if it sets up consolidation around here and breaks 575 again, then it could be another entry. But right now it's extended. I think it's gonna go back to at least like 510s, 520s at least before going higher. So that's my thoughts. I think 520 would be the next level it will probably hold at least. Yeah, but if you kind of bought around this area, I would definitely sell most of them up here already. It looks weak. Broke the 1-minute chart. Probably gonna get 520 soon. Looks like it's gonna get it right now. Yeah, so there's 527s there. So you're gonna have 520s. It would need to reclaim 540. And like, so a bounce on the 5-minute chart and then reclaim 540 as support. Then I can see this going higher in the next 30 minutes. But if it fails to hold 540 as support and it becomes resistance, it could go back to $5. But we're just gonna let it play out. So Sun W. Okay, Sun W had a reversal to the 5-minute trend. Wasn't watching anything else. Little focus, but yeah, so the 1-minute trend here is extended, the 5 minutes down here, 15 minutes down here. So it's reverting back. But it didn't seem like it gave me a setup on the 1-minute chart. So no setup there. I wouldn't have entered anyways. Let's scan through some other stocks here. So Rkda. So this is starting to look a little interesting, a little more interesting for short. So I'm short bias on Rkda because the daily looks horrible and pretty much it can't hold its gaps. Almost every time it had a day up, it just fades. Day up, fade, day up, fade. Here's a big day that it had and it just fade back down to lows. Here's another day. So I think this day is going to do the same. Or at least just fade back down to like 270s. So I'm more short bias here, definitely not a long chart. It's forming a base here on 292s. Okay, so it broke there. Yeah. So that was the bear flag. It broke a little too early, but I think the 292 break was part of that crack for the bear flag. You can see the bear flag here. It cracked, so we might, this might probably be the move to go back to like 270s. But yeah, missed the entry there, but that was a decent spot. It might have been a little inverted cup and handle there to red stock 296 for the 292 break. But yeah. So if 292 becomes resistance, it's probably gonna go back lower. DOPN. XPEV. It's already broke the 1 minute trend. Probably needs to consolidate a little longer for the 5 minute break. WAFU is going higher. Had a little correction on the 5 minute or VWAP area. It's pushing higher. It's getting a little bit extended on the 1 minute chart. The hourly. There's some resistance around the 16 area. But on the 5 minute, it looks a little bit extended. The next print is at $13. It's also really pretty extended on the 1 minute chart as well. We'll probably can see a pullback. Yeah, so it's gonna probably try to pull back. I don't know, maybe it'll set up some inverted cup and handles here. Yeah, Wafu. It has short sell restriction. SSR. So it might be a little difficult to short, or at least enter it. Do I even have shares? Okay, I don't have borrows available, so I can't short it anyways. But the 1 minute is getting extended. TSX. Hey Pano QC, let me check it out. Looks like I don't have it. Is it one of these? Is it this one? Canada ETF? Let's see. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like I have data for this. Let me check Trading View. Does Trading View have that? TSX. Alright, so it looks like I have it for alright, so let's see. So TSX here. Yeah, it's quite a bit extended. Yeah, I wouldn't go in here. It depends on what time. If you're holding a few days, you can get a spot. So it did have an attempted flag. If this can't hold above this flag, I could see it going down. So aim to. Aim to. Oh. I don't know how to search for that. TSX. Yeah, sorry, but just from the TSX itself, I don't see a buy. It's a little bit extended. Mvis. Okay, so Mvis. Okay, so this is the one I took the short on. Had a bounce. It's probably gonna retest this short level. 1345. So that could be a spot to re-enter short. But I don't really short bounce unless it's the first bounce. Like if I miss an entry, it is like the first bounce here, and I'll probably short it. This is the second bounce, and it's holding at a level, so it could break it. Yeah, it's still extended to me. It pulled back. This is a daily. What chart is this? This is... Yeah, this is a daily time frame. Looks like it broke highs. It had a nice break at the 450. It was a nice inverted cup handle. So I think it'll probably pull back. Let's see if I change it to the week. Yeah, some resistance at 7. So resistance at 7. I think for the time being, it's extended on the weekly chart. So 450 is going to be your support level. So let's see. So you got resistance here that you broke. You got a nice like inverted or cup and handle forming here. It broke out last week. Right now it's extended on the weekly chart. So we'll probably see, since it broke out of that 450 level, it's probably going to retest this breakout level. If it holds, we can see it go higher. So if you miss this break, you can dip by this 90 MA trend or the 450 level right here, and then it can go higher. So I think that's what it's going to do. Normally a breakout will get retested. So you got a breakout there. If prior retest, you could probably dip by that, risking probably like the prior low, like $4, maybe a 50-cent risk. But yeah, I don't see a whole other. And you can see on the, thanks for the follow panel QC. And then on the daily time frame, it's on the 90 MA trend right now. So you're gonna get that inverted cup and handle forming, and it's gonna break. So most likely, I think this will probably go back down to 460, and you could probably dip by at 460 if it holds the breakout level. Other than that, yeah, I wouldn't buy up here. I think it's gonna probably fall a little more. But yeah, once it holds the 450 level and kind of holds, you do have a gap level at $9, but then also some resistance at $7. So those are probably like the profit levels, at least short-term profit. All right, so Mvis ended up holding this as support. I mean resistance here, this 480 level. WAFU. So it finally broke that trend at 1450s. So I don't know, it had like maybe a small signal, would have been pretty wide. Yeah, would have been pretty wide for me to take, but maybe a spot there, like there's like a 160-cent risk. Potential profit is $1.50. So it's not a bad thing. You can go like smaller size shares just because the risk is wide. I broke the 1-minute chart and the inverted cup and handle ish. Kind of a wide. Then the 1450 break to the 5-minute test. So this chart is holding the 5-minute trend pretty well. So I think if this 5-minute trend breaks, it will be a harsh pullback to the 50-minute trend. Yeah, panel QC, it wouldn't be a good buy to buy now for a 2-day hold. Potentially, I think it's possible. Just oh, wait, let's see where. For a 2 to 5 day hold, I'll look for a flag on the hourly. So I will play the hourly chart. So for this, look at the hourly chart. Yeah, the hourly chart doesn't look great. I see an inverted cup and handle already. Right now, the hourly chart, you have this. This is one of my strategies that I take for shorting. So doesn't look good if it breaks 510. Is it on 510 right now? But yeah, it doesn't look good. For this to be like a 2 to 5 day hold, the chart, the 1 hour chart has to play out, has to hold 530 as support. So typically I like to buy higher because it confirms. Yeah, for a couple day trade, I will look for the hourly, or yeah, maybe the 4 hours would be a lot better. But I usually just trade on the hourly chart. So you would need to hold this 530 as a support level. So something like this. You hold a higher low and then holds this 530 as support. Then you could buy the flag break around this like 540 area. But that's going to take at least like 2 days to form. But right now it's not a buy because it could very well break down on this 510 level. And then retest the breakout level at 450s on the daily. So right here, it broke out, it's extended. So my guess is it's gonna break down and retest this level. So it's not a spot to buy right now, unless it consolidates longer and confirms 9 EMA as support. So it hasn't broken down yet, but if it does break down, it's going to be a harsh breakdown to 450s, 460s. So you want to see like some consolidation here, which on the hourly chart will form what I drew earlier on the hourly chart. So it's going to probably consolidate around here. And then when it breaks the flag line, then you could buy with the momentum up. So I like buying higher because it confirms an uptrend. Where if you try to dip buy, it doesn't confirm any trend, and you're just guessing at 50-50 at that point. It could bounce or it could just crash. Yvr. So Yvr. Yvr bounced off the 15-minute trend. By Wafu. So panel. So this looks like a chart. Just looks like your TSX chart. You're at this step right here on your TSX on the 9 EMA. So here's the inverted cup and handle on Wafu, and retest on the daily breakout. So it's almost the same chart. So you're gonna see it retest this level. But yeah, WAFU is trending this 5-minute chart. Holding this trend so far. If it fails here, I'll probably take that short. Let's extend on the 15-minute chart. But yeah, trailing the 5-minute chart pretty well. Probably end up holding it. ONC. How do I check that? Yeah, ONC doesn't look too bad. You can probably still hold on to that. This one. So it's having like a little uptrend, lower highs forming. Yeah, it depends on where you bought, but it's forming a flag now. So I would hang on to it. It tested. It tested the 90 MA twice already, and it's creating a flag. I think it's trying to break it today. But it looks good. I would put your stop here though. Your stop would be, what is this? I can't down here. 440, 437. So I'll stop out here at 437s. This could get a push up. A flag break. That'll be a flag break. So I could see this going to $5. If you bought in here, you're good. 440 will be my stop. So this is what you want to see on your what's it called? AIM. You're at this level. You're at like kind of this level. You're like above the line, but you're at this level, so it's not a buy yet. It's a buy when it breaks the flag. I usually buy at the breakout. Yeah, so here's the hourly chart. Pretty much what I drew on the AIM. You're at this stage. This is where you're at. So you can see it could create that inverted cup and handle, but it didn't break, right, on ONC. But you got this level like that, and then you draw a flag line and it's breaking it now. So this is where people will buy, and potentially it can go to $5 now to break out. But if it fails to hold, I would draw this trend line, and that's where your 440 is. So 440 was your prior support. So if it falls below this, I will stop out because it will go lower. That'll be your support. So WAFU end up holding above that 1450 level, so it looks pretty. I feel like this is going to be it's going to have a harsh pullback. Definitely, I'm not longing here because I don't long the 5-minute or 1-minute chart when it's extended in the later part of the day. Because if you pull up the 15-minute chart, you can see how extended it is. It has this much room to the downside. So yeah, I typically use the 9 exponential moving average. That's just my preference. YVR got a price alert that I set earlier. Okay, so it broke. It hasn't broken that 480 level yet. It tried to break out here on this flag. Volume picked up, but it couldn't get through that 480. This prior level. So what else is going? So YVR would look interesting if it gets back to 480 again. Which I think it probably will, because it's consolidating pretty well here. But I'm not taking it long because the 15-minute, the hourly chart is far. But yeah, this will be the 15-minute flag. You can see that in the 15-minute chart, it has tested the 9 EMA and it flagged. So people will probably buy this. But it might get rejected because the hourly is extended. The hourly is way down here. So that's why I'm not like confident in those other flags, but it could work out. But this is the flag, the 15-minute flag break. You can stop at 440. That 470 break, 460 break. Let's see what else is moving. GNLN, probably fading back down, was extended. Rkda ended up breaking down and hanging on there. Don't see the else attracting. So Wafu Yeah, so Wafu ended up trying to break down. So WAFU broke trend here. Let's see if we get a bounce off the 5-minute trend. Oh wait, I don't have any shares to borrow. Yeah, I don't have any available shares to borrow, but they broke the 5-minute trend. So if I had borrows, I'd probably look for something like this. BGCB. What is this? It looks extended, but I'm not sure if this is... $490 break. 492 profit taking, 483. So not a bad risk. Let's see if 492 becomes resistance here. BGC partners. Is this... Let's see what's the institutional ownership on this. Oh, 63% owned. I don't like shorting high institutional ownership, but I might give this a try. 490 break. Actually, I'll probably avoid it. I always get screwed up in the high institutional ownerships. But yeah, this looks really tempting for the 490 break. 485 test. 483. Yeah, it's 484. Slowly creeping up, but it's not a bad setup. Just I don't like the institutional ownership. I'll just watch this, see how it plays out. It's easy to borrow. Yeah. So no signal there plus high institutional, so avoid. SPWR is getting tight. SPWR. I can't view your chart. I think it's only if you're the owner. That's what it says. This has pretty low volume. But it does look good though. 550 break. It's flagging. I think if 550 break, you could buy that and then you can stop at 540s. Around here. So stop at 539 or so. You buy the break at 550s. So I would buy at 550, 51 or so, 550s. But yeah, you get like a higher lows, ascending triangle, little flag. So 550 will be the breakout. Yeah. Sometimes it's better to wait till you buy higher because it confirms the breakout. If you try to buy in this area, it may not break out 550 and it might fall, it'll break down. So it might break down to 530s. But if you buy at 550, I think it'll confirm the momentum and it'll continue higher. So SPWR. It's getting late in the morning, so it really looks like it wants to break out. But yeah, So I would buy when 550 breaks. So it needs to get through 550. Like when 551 prints. Not the best though on the SPWR. So WAFU, it's ending up putting a lower high. So I don't have shorts, but this could go back to 1250s. It's trying to hang on there. Yeah, so I just scanned through some stocks. I don't see anything else for this morning, or at least for the morning. There'll probably be some setups later, but this is the only trade, the Wagyu or Wafu. But I don't have any shorts available. But it's for 1380.81 break or 1380. This 1380 break would probably be a short signal. I think maybe one more lower high. But I don't have shares to short. Maybe a lower high right here would be a tighter risk, and then target is 12, below $13. But yeah, I don't see anything else. So I'm probably gonna sign off for today. It's the last trading day for this month, so I'll probably wrap up and do my monthly recap and daily recap today. So okay, so yeah, nothing else moving, so I'm gonna try to avoid trading. The only trade I did was on Mvis. It was just a $52 win, and it was at this spot here. So I shorted the inverted cup and handle at this spot, and I covered most of them on there at the 1320s. Bounce, and yeah, so I just shorted 1348 or so and cover here for a $52 win. Small trade, but looks like it's kind of hanging on here. It actually broke above the 1345. Yeah, I would use the 9 EMA. Yeah, the cup and handle is one of my favorite pattern. It's because it, so if you kind of realize like how does an uptrend look? So how does an uptrend look? Like this, right? You got higher highs, I mean higher lows, and higher highs, right? So this is like kind of the definition of uptrend: higher highs, higher lows. But for cup and handle, so if I draw a line here, so you can see this is a cup, then a handle. So what a cup and handle tells you is you got a low and a higher high forming, and when you break above this pivot high, no matter where you're trading at, it's going to be automatically a higher high. So you're always buying that trend. You're buying the first uptrend or the first downtrend. So that's why I like it so much. Just like here, you can see it's forming higher highs, and then here, this is a higher high here, right? But now this is a lower high. But when it breaks this prior low, regardless of where it goes, it's going to be a lower low. So now you have lower highs and lower lows. So automatically you're in a downtrend. So that's why for a cup and handle, it's a good trend reversal signal that I take. So it helps you avoid being on the wrong side of the move and being the first on the reversal. So here's the reversal part, and now it's on a downtrend. But right now it's recovering, so you also need to look at where your targets are. So my target is the 15-minute trend, so that's where I'm taking my profits mostly. Yeah, so Wafu is breaking the 1380 level spot. So if you had that borrows, that's a good spot there. You're probably in good shape. So same pattern, inverted cup and handle, right? Now you're in a downtrend. So yeah, target's 1325 or 1250s. I didn't have shares to short, but I would have short that 1380 break right here. So for shorting, you need borrows. But yeah, that was a good short signal. 1250 is gonna be where it's gonna head to. Same way you determine when an uptrend stops. So uptrend stops when you get lower highs, right? So this is an uptrend, right? You got this. So you got higher lows, higher highs. But the beginning of a downtrend, here's your lower high, and then here's still a higher low. So it's kind of like converging or consolidating. It doesn't choose a trend yet, but once you create a high here, now you got a lower high, and when it breaks this cup and handle, you can see this cup and handle. When it breaks that, regardless of where it goes, it's going to be a lower low. So you're in a downtrend. So this is the same way you determine when a downtrend stop is, let me look at some losers for today. So like this one, LIZI. So like LIZI, see this is a downtrend. Yeah, the period you're drawing depends on what you're trading in. So if you're trading the 1 minute chart, so this is a downtrend. You can see lower highs forming, and then finally you get higher lows. So now it's an uptrend. And then there's like somewhat an inverted cup and handle here, or cup and handle, to begin that uptrend. Oh, how far? Oh, you mean like right here, I have an hourly chart here. As far as whatever the pattern forms, like if you look at just 1 hour on 3 days, it doesn't really tell you much, right? But you kind of pull it out. I mean, for 1 hour chart, you could probably look at it in a span of 5 days. It probably tell you a lot of information. But if you want to look at trend, so this is the 1 hour trend here. It's probably the daily trend, but here's the 1 hour trend on CLNE. You can see it just forming lower highs and lower lows. And when you see an uptrend break, you can see it's starting to form higher lows, and what became lower highs is now higher high here, and then you got higher lows, and so now you're in an uptrend on CLNE. But because you're on the hourly time frame, it will be maybe just a few days, but this looks like it's a week, 2 weeks. Yeah, so look at the time frame where you think you'll be trading. If you're going to trade on the daily, holding long term, look at the daily time frame and the weekly chart. But if you're going to trade and hold in terms of minutes, look at the minute chart in 5 minutes, and longer is, so I trade all time frames, like 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and an hour. But only on the day trades. So only day trades on those time frame, but I look at all time frames to identify my probability. Like this one, it's retested the hourly chart on CLNE. I thought this looked different. So CLNE is retested the hourly chart here. So you pull up the hourly chart, the 90 EMA is tested here. So it's not extended anymore. So now it has a higher probability to go higher if it sets up something. So support becomes support here, flags. Now this has a chance to do the long pattern. But it'll need a setup. It'll need a breakout of this trend line. But here, if it bounces here, then you got this break lower high here to risk off, 10-cent risk and potential profit. But yeah, this is kind of slow moving, and it's on the daily chart, it's not that attracting. You might get a little bounce. It's fighting the 9 EMA trend, so that's why I'm not too confident on this setup. But yeah, it's getting late part of the morning, heading towards lunchtime, so volume tends to die down during lunchtime, so try to avoid trading lunchtime as well. Okay, so yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you haven't done so, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Bye.